Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Okay, all right, here we are. So go ahead, press pause and do the do now, and then we'll get started. Okay, all right. So, first thing first, we're gonna reflect over the x-axis, right? So that means all the y values are going to change. So let's see. So first of all, with a prime, b prime, and c prime. Okay, so now again, I picked zero for a reason, okay? Because I'm still waiting for one of you to write negative zero. All right, but it's not right because the opposite of zero is zero. Now the second one, the first one stays the same. The second one changes, so that becomes negative 5. Third one, right, becomes positive 10. Okay, done. All right, Unit 8, Day 12. Homeworks on problematic. Uh, what's today? Today's Tuesday, right? So get the quiz done by 3 p.m. today, okay? And then I email your parents already yesterday, okay? So, yeah. Uh, Again, I think I had two people so far as of right now that I'm recording this that asked me about their grade so far. So don't hesitate to ask me, okay? All right, let's see what else. Uh, Also, next Monday's Memorial Day. I'm not sure if we're off yet. If we are, I'll let you know. But again, like everything we've done so far in the last 6 weeks, everything has to be confirmed. Okay, so just because someone mentioned it doesn't mean that it's for sure. So I'll try my best to get an answer for you as early as possible so that we have a 3 day weekend to look forward to. Okay. All right, let's see. Keep doing your attendance, homework, homeroom number. Okay. I have a person in one of these classes. The person keeps writing their room number. Okay, I don't want your room number. I want your homeroom number. Okay. All right. So let's see. Um. Yeah, if you want to know, so when you email me your grades, for your grades at least, I will tell you what your grades are, and then if there are any missing assignments, I'll just write it to you in your email. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is this week I'm going to start looking at all the students who's missed like a few, maybe even one, but at least a few homeworks or missing quizzes, and I'm going to send an email to those students. Okay, so because right now, as we speak, emailing the parents, has been I don't know. Some parents don't reply, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm gonna try to start emailing the students instead, and hopefully they'll respond. All right. So grading policy, we talked about that in the email to your parents. I had mentioned this already. All right, in a quite detailed manner. So okay, all right, let's start now. Today's lesson, we're going to begin with something else. So here's what we did last Friday, right? So last Friday we talked about triangles. So let's do let me quiz you real quick without looking into your notebook. Okay, so without looking into your notebooks and as you stare out into space, I'm gonna ask you 6 questions, and I want to see if you guys can actually 7 questions, and I want to see if you guys remember the lesson from yesterday. Okay, so here we go. All right, so there are 2 ways you can name a triangle, right? You could name it by looking at the sides on the outside of the triangle or the angles inside the triangle. So let's start off with this first. If you are looking by the sides, right? So can you name all 3 ways in which you can name a triangle by looking at the sides? Okay, all right. Now, So for those of you who couldn't yet, don't worry. All right, let me give you a hint. So what happens if all three sides are equal? What do we call those type of triangles? Yeah, equilateral, right? What happens if only two sides are equal? Starts with an I. If only two sides are equal. Yep, it's an isosceles triangle, right? And if all three sides are different, which means none of the sides are equal, what's the name of that triangle? This one's hard. It's a weird word. Yep, scalene. Okay. All right. So, oops. Okay, so now the other way of looking at a triangle is by looking at the angles inside a triangle. So let me ask you now, the most prototypical triangle, right, has where all three angles are less than 90 degrees. So they're all very sharp, right? What type of triangles do we call those? Where the angles are very sharp. Like this one right here, actually, as a matter of fact. Yep, those are called acute triangles, right? Now, what about when you have a triangle that is where one angle is exactly 90 degrees, which means it forms like a perfect corner, right? What do you call those sort of triangles? Yep, right triangles, right? Because they're right angles, okay? By the way, the homework this week for at least today and tomorrow, it's going to be identifying triangles. So my thinking is for the quiz this Friday, most of the questions is on identifying a triangle. So you're going to have to memorize it. Like there's just nothing else you can do other than trying to remember what those triangles are. Okay. All right. Lastly, if you have a triangle where the angle is not sharp, it's not right, but it's actually more than 90 degrees, meaning it looks something like this. Oops, not a very good drawing, right? What type of triangles are you going to call those? Yeah, obtuse. Obtuse triangle, right? Okay, so right now what you're gonna do is this. You are going to watch the first Khan Academy video. Where's this video number 1? Go ahead, watch that, and then do activity number 1 and activity number 2. Now, let me see if I could do at least a couple of these questions with you, even though, I mean, I gotta tell you, these questions are scrambled. Okay, so like what I show you now might not be what you see for question number 1. All right, but let's do one of each. Okay, how about that? All right, classify triangle ABC by its angles. So look at this. What would you call this triangle? Now look at the choices. Is it acute? Is it obtuse? Or is it a right triangle? What do you think? Yep, it's a right triangle, right? Because of this box here, this box in the corner here, is trying to tell you that angle is 90 degrees. Okay. All right. So let's do one here, and then I'll let you work on this on your own. It'll probably take you, how long's the video? 6 minutes. 6 to 2. Yeah, about 10. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. And what about this one? What's this? Complete the table below. Okay. So what's the classification for this one? 667. What is that? Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. Equilateral and not equilateral. Okay, it's not equilateral, right? Equilateral would mean all three sides are the same, but they're not. Now, more specifically, what do you call this kind of triangle where only two sides are equal? Yeah, that's an isosceles triangle, okay? And this one, 4, 4, 4, equilateral, right? All three sides are equal, right? And then this last one, 4, 5, 7, right? Not equilateral. As a matter of fact, what are they called specifically? Right, where none of the sides are equal. Yeah, scalene, right? Okay, so I'm gonna leave you alone and let you watch this video and do these 2 exercises, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, all right, so press pause. Okay, all right, and we're back. So, okay, hopefully that helped you a little bit, all right? Now, some of you might say, hey, Mr. Ringlight, it looks like we're spending a lot of time like on identifying triangles. And you'd be right, because in my experience of teaching geometry in high school and in middle school, being able to name shapes ranks pretty high. So, for example, if something has four sides, can you recognize that as a square, rectangle, trapezoid, parallelogram? Yeah, you're gonna have to. Okay, so same thing with triangles. Can you name the different what types of triangles? And that's fairly important in the long term of things. Meaning, like, you would be hard pressed to find someone who's in high school or college who cannot give you the name of a triangle. Okay, so it's something that we all have to know. Okay, all right. Having said that, let's finish today's lesson here. Okay, on this page. So match the name of the triangle shown. Okay, all right. Isosceles. All right. So all you have to do is look. I don't suppose you don't have to copy any of this. So where can you find the isosceles triangle? All right, now these are not really going to help because these are angles, right? And isosceles is a side thing, right? So let's see, 888. No, that's what, equilateral. 665. Yep. So that's E. E is an isosceles triangle. Okay. How about equilateral? That's a side thing, right? So which triangle out of the six? Now E is already eliminated. Which of the five that's left, right? It's an equilateral triangle where all three sides are equal. Yep. D, right? Scalene. Which triangle here has all three sides that are different? Yep. F, right? Acute. That's an angle thing, right? So which one of these three left is an acute triangle where all three angles are less than 90 degrees? Which one is it? Is it A? Is it B? Or is it C? Yep, it's C, right? Okay, right triangle. Which one's a right triangle? Yep. All right, obtuse is greater than 100. Greater than 90 degrees, right? So there it is. Okay, all right. So that should still be a review. Now, I mentioned briefly yesterday that the triangles, like, remember that last name first name thing that I gave you, the analogy. Same thing here, right? So whereas you have a last name and first name, so do triangles when you try to name them. So what they're saying is, if you look at triangle A, right? What can you say about triangle A? Now, first of all, it's a right angle, right? So one of these has to be a right. It's a right what? What kind of triangle is this? Does it look like, in other words, now that we name the angle, we have to look at the sides. Are the sides all the same? None of which is the same, or only two sides are the same? What do you think? Look at all three sides. Right? This is the longest, this is the shortest, this one's in the middle, right? So all three are different. It's a right, what do you call that? All three sides are different. You can look at your notes. Yep, scalene. A right scalene. Now, again, like I mentioned yesterday, scalene right just sounds better. It just sounds like something that more people would say. I know you don't realize that right now, but having done this for eons, scalene right is how we say it. Okay. Now, if you write this on the test, write scalene, you're not gonna get any points off. You're not wrong. It's just people prefer to say it this way. Okay. What else? Triangle D. Where's D? It's right here. This one. Now, this one. What about this one? This one, the sides are given already, right? So we got the sides already. All I'm missing are the angles. Right? So what are the angles? It looks like all three of them are less than 90, right? So here we have a equilateral first, right? We have an equilateral triangle. And then what about the angles? What about all three angles? Yeah, the less than 90. What do you call a triangle where all three angles are less than 90? Yeah, acute, right? Now again, we really call this acute equilateral. No one really says equilateral acute. Okay, so it's acute equal. It just sounds better. Okay, all right. Triangle E. Here, actually, why don't you do this? Try E and F right now. What do you call those? Where's E and F? Okay, they're right here. Look at these two. Look at E and F. How would you name them? So press pause and then write them out. Okay. Okay, all right, and we're back. So triangle E, all three sides are equal, so they're equilateral. Am I right? No, 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 no. Oops, oops, oops. No. Okay. No, only two sides are equal, so it's isosceles. So I'll write in the second spot here. Now that's the side. What about the angles? Yeah, they're acute. So it's acute acute isosceles. Okay, that's how people would say it. Okay, what about the last one? Triangle F. Right, all three sides are different, right? So it's scalene. And what about the angles? Yeah, it's obtuse, right? Look at this angle, right? It's gigantic. So this is obtuse because it's greater than 90 degrees. So that is obtuse scalene. And that sounds right, okay? Okay, all right. Let's move down. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're almost done. All right. Yeah, plus 10, right? Plus 10 for the video and the two activities. Let's see, 26. Yeah, it's about right. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay, now here is not even showing you anything. You have to read them and figure out what the triangle is. Okay, so let's see. A triangle with all sides and angles congruent. Remember, congruent? Congruent means what? Yeah, equal in measurement, right? So that's that symbol, right? Now, let's draw it out. A triangle with all sides, so let's say it's a 777, right? Triangle, all three sides, it's the same, right? Now, just so you know, all right, this is probably more high school than middle school. If all three sides are the same, all three angles are going to be the same, okay? So that's like your triangle where all the sides are the same, which by the way is what? What kind of triangle is that when all the sides are the same? Yeah, equilateral, right? So what type, so when all the sides are the same, all the angles are the same, and all the angles are gonna look pretty sharp, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what does that mean? All three angles are pretty sharp, meaning they're all less than 90. What am I trying to say here? Yep, they're acute equilateral. All three sides are the same, that's equilateral. All three angles less than 90, acute. So in other words, you can't draw an equilateral triangle like this. Like, you will never be able to draw an equilateral triangle like this, because that's obtuse. Because by definition, this will be the longest side. So it's not equilateral then, right? You see what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Now, a triangle with no sides congruent. So none of the sides are congruent. Now, I knew that that's scalene, right? But what about the angle? Let's think about this real quick. No sides congruent, scalene. Now, I could have a scalene triangle like this, where I can have like a 1, 2, 3, but I can have a scalene like this also. Like 1, 2, 3. Right? So I know that the three sides can be different, but I can't tell with the angles. Because here, this one's acute, this one's obtuse. So that's all you can say. Okay? Scalene is it. That's the final answer here. Like you can have a you can have an obtuse, you can have a isosceles, and can you have an isosceles? No, isosceles, you can have an isosceles scalene. Okay. By the way, why can't you have an isosceles scalene? Look at this. Why can't you have an isosceles scalene? Or actually, no, that's not what I meant. Oops. Of course you can't have an isosceles scalene because scalene and isosceles are different definitions. That's not what I meant. I meant is, can you have a equal, no, wait. Let's see. Can you have a, let's see, scalene? Can you have a acute scalene? Yeah, you can have obtuse scalene. Can you have a right scalene? That's what I meant. Can you have a right scalene triangle? Let's see. Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. So can you have this where all three sides are different? You can actually, okay? You'll learn in 8th grade. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So yeah, nothing we can do. It's a scalene, okay? That's it. Okay, all right. Good to know. So let's see. This one's good. A triangle with one angle that is 91 degrees. What's a 91 degree angle when it's more than 90? Yeah, it's obtuse, right? Okay. A triangle with these three angles. Now, look at the number, right? That's, by the way, you're not gonna see this on the quiz. Okay. Let's see, 103. So that's obtuse, right? And all three angles are different. So what does it say about the sides? Yeah, all three sides are different. So it's an obtuse scalene. Oops. All three sides are different. Obtuse scalene. Okay. All three angles are different. That means all three sides are different. That's a scalene. One angle more than 90. That's obtuse. Okay. So some of these you realize you can have the first name, last name for like some of these questions. Some of these other questions you just can't because anything's possible. Okay. So last one. All right. And then I want to do one last thing with you guys. A triangle with, now look at this. These two sides are equal, right? So that's isosceles. Right? Now, let's see. Okay. If you have a triangle, let's see. Let me think real quick. Can I have a acute isosceles? Yeah, you can. If you have 11, 15, that's acute, that's possible. Can you have a right isosceles? You can have 11, 15, right? Can you have a obtuse isosceles? Possibly, right? 11, 15. Yeah, so that's it. It's just isosceles. You like all those are possible. So okay, all right. Now, one last thing with you guys. Okay, usually I do this in the class for bonus points. All right, and so go ahead right now. See in your notebook with a ruler, hopefully, see if you can sketch an obtuse isosceles triangle. All right. So press pause and do that. Okay. All right, and we're back. So obtuse isosceles. All right. Now, your obtuse isosceles triangle you have to look something like this. Now, if you draw this, I actually can't really give you credit yet because you didn't write anything to show me that first is isosceles. Right? These two slashes, right? They both have two slashes, so those two sides are equal. And then obtuse, you have to show me that this angle is larger than 90 degrees. Okay? All right. Now, this is usually the bonus question. Can you draw an obtuse right triangle? So go ahead, press pause and do that. Okay. All right. This is a trick question. You can't. Because obtuse is more than 90 degrees already. So you can't draw this and then still make like one of these a right triangle. Like it's just, there just aren't enough degrees to go around, right? Because a triangle only has actually I shouldn't say that. I should say a triangle only has 180 degrees. There's only so many you can go around. So many degrees to go around. So once you have an obtuse, you can't have a right triangle. Okay? All right. Well, that's that for today. All right. So tomorrow, here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow, we're going to start talking about areas of a triangle. Okay. So we're going to talk about areas of a triangle tomorrow. That will take us 2 to 3 days. All right. And then we'll have a quiz on Friday. Now, the Friday quiz, again, some of which is this stuff. And I have a feeling that some of which has to be this area stuff. So it's it's a lot of information. That's all I gotta tell you. Okay, and then I'll let you know about what? I'll let you know about next Monday and see if we're off. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the bell. All right. Don't tell me you don't miss that bell.
OMG, that was so good.